Okay, well, George Flynn. I'm a retired Lieutenant General in the Marine Corps, and I'm retired now. So this is what I do, retired stuff. So not much more, and I still check on General Gray about once a month to see how he's doing. And you know, again, he has more energy probably than the average man, I would say.
Do you have some special memories of him that you'd like to?
Yeah, so 34 years ago, I got asked to report to the Commandant's office. I was an action officer in Plans Division at headquarters. And I went to General Gray's office, and he said, you're interviewing to be my aide. And he said, where are you from? I said, New Jersey. And that was a good thing because, you know, General Gray was from New Jersey. And he said, would you like to be my aide? And I said, it really not on my list of things I want to do, sir. So I'll be happy to stay at Plans Division. And he said, this was a Friday. And he said, well, you can report here on Monday. And so I was his aide for the last 2 years that he was Commandant. So I got to see firsthand his passion for things. I was there for a lot of his monumental decisions when he created, you know, got the energy to get the Marine Corps University established, created the Commandant's Reading List, operationally wrote the warfighting manual, FMFM1, warfighting. Then he came out with the second version, which was campaigning, which was the second in the series, and the third was tactics. He operationalized operational maneuver from the sea, got 2 out of the 3 programs going, the V-22 and the LCAC, and then also ship to objective maneuver. And during Desert Shield, Desert Storm, I got to go with him every night prior to them crossing the line of departure. He would go to a room at headquarters, and in his own way, he would war game the outcome in the maneuver. So it was a pretty good ride. I learned a lot. And you know, there's no better teacher, no better mentor than General Gray.
Do you have a personal story you can share?
Yeah, I'll tell you one. So if you want to know what kind of, and my son would probably tell you that this is one I should tell you. So after General Gray retired, I moved on, and I was in Okinawa, and my mother passed away when I was in Okinawa. So I flew back on emergency leave and went back to New Jersey. And my mother, you know, I leave the church after the services, and General Gray was there. So that kind of tells you, you know, what kind of person he is. And the other personal thing I'll tell you is one of the greatest things that General Gray says was ever named against him is my daughter has a black lab, and his name is Gray.
That's awesome. What core values of the Marine Corps inspire you the most?
I think selfless service. I think that's the most important thing, and I think if there's an example of that, it would be General Gray. Like his life was the Corps, and his life was his wife Jan. That's what he was, and he acted that way every day. I mean, his love of the Corps is endless. Even in retirement, of all the organizations he supports, you mentioned it earlier. Every year he tries to get here for the Beirut Memorial. He supports the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation, the Semper Fi Fund, Hope for the Warrior. All those things he continues to do.
If you're telling somebody else about General Gray, how do you describe him to them? His bark is worse than his bite. I'll just leave it at that. You know, he's a big teddy bear on the inside, but don't tell anybody I said that. You know, you can take that off the tape here. I don't know if I can.
All right, I got it. All right, that's okay. I'm retired now. I'm good.
And I know you're not from the area, but you have a place in Holly Ridge, so you
right.
are Onslow County. So I'll ask this question: how is Jacksonville and Onslow County home to the Marines?
I mean, I don't think you can separate Camp LtGen from Jacksonville and Onslow County. I think, you know, they're a part of each other. I think it's kind of like the yin and the yang. You know, you can't do without one without the other. So, I mean, Jacksonville is probably, you know, traveling to different military bases. It's one of the most supportive communities, along with the county, that I think you'll find anywhere. And I've been to many different installations and served on different bases, and the community engagement and support here, I think, is second to none.